Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another quick pick prediction video. In this video, I'll be predicting the women's strawweight bout between Karolina Kowalkiewicz versus Jessica Penne. And how I see this one going is at first I was jumping back and forth. Matter of fact, at first I had Penne for a long time. Then I for a brief stint had Karolina Kowalkiewicz, and now I've come to the conclusion I have stuck with Karolina Kowalkiewicz. It's really Kowalkiewicz. I don't know how to say her name. She got like 2 or 3 different names, however you want to pronounce it. So it's either Kowalkiewicz or Kowalkiewicz, something like that. But yeah, I was leaning like, I know Penne, I mean, historically, and you should factor that Karolina Kowalkiewicz is the better striker as far as striking, and pushes the pace much more. As far as how far she made it in the division, she made it far, and she was a staple at this division for a good period of time, but has since fallen down. And Penne, like, she was good in Invicta, and UFC career never really took off too much. Like, she was on the Ultimate Fighter, didn't win that. I think she had like 1 or 2 fights, then went on the skid. And then you could say, oh, better competition, better that. But when you look at who Penne lost to, she really lost some of the same people that you can't really knock her for losing to those people. She lost to Joanna. Even though Kowalkiewicz fought Joanna to a better fight, they both lost to Joanna, nonetheless. They both lost to Andrade, nonetheless. Whether one was more competitive or one was not. Well, Penne was more competitive against Andrade, and Kowalkiewicz was more competitive against Joanna. And then you look at her last loss, which was I'm forgetting her name just right now, but she lost that one fighter. She's not a bad fighter at all, that fighter, but definitely not to the caliber that Andrade is or Joanna. Not even close. So, oh yeah, Danielle Taylor, it's a very solid fighter, cool chick. Check her out, whatnot. Follow her career, whatnot. All props to her, she's cool and whatnot. But yeah, Danielle Taylor's a solid fighter, but not in the UFC no more. But all props to her. But she lost her, and that's not a fight she should have lost. I mean, that's a fight she should have won, but I feel like that was a time when she was mentally all the way there. But after looking at not going too deep and digging all the way back, what I was feeling with but yeah, the reason I was leaning to Penne was because of her ability. Like, looking at the Lupita Godinez fight was, let me just say, I'm all over the place with my words, but Lupita Godinez or Lupi Godinez in that fight with Penne, and Penne was able to create grappling exchanges. Like when Godinez had her against the cage, she was able to jump in the guard and create a grappling, like, while she had her against the cage, lock her legs and be like a standing guard, like back in the Pride days, like a standing guard. Or when Godinez had the underhook, she was able to jump around and take her back in position. Like, she was able to create those situations. And one of the weaker areas of Kowalkiewicz, or the weakest area of Kowalkiewicz, is her grappling. You saw Waterson was able to make her look like an amateur on the ground. And Waterson's a solid grappler, but she's definitely not no super, one of the standout grapplers in the division. And for her to make her look like that, show weakness. And then her fight against Zhao Nan Yan took her down like 5 times. But also you got to factor in, Yan has heavy hands and was just beating her brains out and just emasculating her out there. So to the point that she could just get those takedowns, like she was already so beat up, like, just take me down, you beating the crap out of me. Now I'm just cussing, I'm gonna lose some money off that, but it is what it is. But was able to take her down and do stuff off that, beat the poop out of her. Just act like that, I ain't say that. But either way, what I'm going with this is I'm leaning Karolina Kowalkiewicz, because I've seen her. One thing about Penne's not a super technical striker. She's not a bad striker, but not a super technical striker. Very hittable as well, and also not a not a like a heavy hitting striker, not the hardest hitting striker. And also one big thing that leaned me to Kowalkiewicz is I seen her training with Joanna, seen her training with Jan Blackwell, and she's stepping out of her comfort zone and getting the best training she possibly could get and testing herself. And I saw her training in the Pacific areas that definitely where Penne would look to take it in. She was looking good, looking clean, and she's preparing herself for that. And I feel like that's really Penne's best shot to win, is to fight that style, make it a grappling, make it ugly, and find these exchanges in weird positions. But if Kowalkiewicz is already prepared for it, always sharp, and training hard and training with the best she can, I think she'll be more than prepared. But all that being said, I still think it's a tight, close fight. I still see Penne find success in those positions, but I feel like Kowalkiewicz will be better equipped to address those situations. Still a very tight matchup, but will allow Kowalkiewicz to get off with her striking and outvalue and be the touch Jessica Penne, which it won't be too hard. Penne knows to get knocked around all the time. Her nose is just be glow up red like it's a video game, and you got auto lock on it. It's hard to miss. And her striking defense is like 40% or 46, very low. So even if you swing blind, you're going to touch that nose. So I feel like Kowalkiewicz, with her volume and her striking credentials, will be able to touch her up. I don't think it's a stoppage. She's not a knockout or heavy-handed fighter either, but I think she will put up more volume. And I think with the training she does, she'll be better equipped to deal with the grappling of Penne And it's not like Penne is a super offensive grappling. Her average takedown percentage is like 68 over 15 minutes. So that's like less than a takedown over a 15-round fight. I mean, a 15-minute fight. So it's not like she's a super aggressive takedown artist. But she can create grappling exchanges, which it will be tough and interesting. But I feel like Kowalkiewicz is fully equipped and prepared to deal with it. But still a very tight matchup. So in this one, I got Karolina Kowalkiewicz via decision.